Hello, my love, and how are you? Welcome to another episode of Vampire Builders with your host, Michelle Hext. Today, I'm going to be talking about the five shifts that I've made in my business for 2025 that have had huge impact on almost every facet of my company. And I know that these are probably going to be things that will resonate with you too. So you can take them and you can apply them for yourself. So let's dive in with the first one. The first thing that I did as I was coming into 2025, and I probably should preface this that as I'm rolling into a new year, I typically start thinking about planning for and executing different things in around November. So by the time January kicks over, it is well and truly underway. So it's not like I got to the 1st of January and then suddenly these things were in place. These were things that were rolling as we came into 2025, and I have simply strengthened since then. All right, so the first thing is I simplified my offer suite. I had a lot of offers at one point. I had my high ticket offers, I had high ticket group offers, I had some digital courses with VIP access so people could purchase them and work one-on-one with me. And I kept dragging those courses along with me, the 5K formula for coaches being one of them, because they had served me so well, and I just didn't want to let them go. And I kept trying to find ways to make them, to bring them with me as I was moving and elevating and shifting and changing. And I just decided that, you know what, it's okay to let them go. It's okay to let them go. And so I simplified my offer suite very significantly. And now I have my mastermind, and occasionally I will run the roadmap to 500K. That last one is full now, so that will run in June. But that's something that I'm probably going to run less and less as well as I really focus on my mastermind. And that's where my heart is. That is the work that I love to do. I love the roadmap to 500K as well. But I typically know that those people will move into my mastermind. So that's why I do that program. And, I'm getting to the point where I'm thinking, well, if I have to do that first in order to get them into the mastermind, then that's me working too hard. So I've got a sense that this may be the last time that I run that course. I don't know. This is where I'm at right now. But it was really about simplifying, very much simplifying my offer suite, and knowing that when I simplified and really focused on the mastermind, if I put all of my energy into filling my mastermind and running my mastermind and delivering results for my mastermind, I know that for me, that is a good time. That is where I want to be. That's where I've been telling myself I want to be for the last 5 years, but I just kept detouring and adding other things. And those days are over. I really made a firm decision at the end of last year that as I came into this year, it would be the mastermind and potentially the roadmap. But by the end of the year, I probably was just only wanting to focus on the mastermind. So that's that. So it's simplifying the offer suite. Think about it like this. If you have 10 different offers and somebody is on your website trying to decide, it's just people don't like to choose. People don't like too many options. They might think they do, but it stalls the decision-making process. And we want to shorten the length of that decision-making process and make it as clear and simple for people to take action or take the next step as possible, right? And when we've got too much going on our websites, or too many offers going on, it's just confusing. So the first thing is simplifying my offer suite. The second thing is signature everything. And I have on my whiteboard about the book that I'm writing, which is Project You Inc. I have everything is a signature. And I look at it every time I walk in because I want to be reminded as I write that book about the power of our signature systems. So I have my signature offer, which is my mastermind. I have my signature sales system. I have my signature framework. And as I continue to build things, they will become signature pieces as well. And think about, I don't know, fashion, for example, like a high, like a designer, I can't think of the bloody name of it, like Dior house or Chanel house. What is it called? Anyway, Maison, house of. My French is a little rusty. Anyway, think about that, right? They have these classic pieces that are always going to be produced, like the Kelly bag, for example. So there are going to be pieces that are their signature. Chanel number 5 is a signature scent for that brand. And so those things are always going to be a part of those brands. And then they can bring in seasonal pieces, right? So I have my signature systems in place, and they're always evolving and refining as I go because I learn more every year. I'd be crazy if I didn't, right? And so there are going to be these seasonal pieces that I bring in and try, and they may become classics or they may just be for a season and they move on. But I know that my signature pieces won't shift and change. So the mastermind will always be the mastermind. My sales system will always be the sales system. And so I'm looking at things in terms of signatures. And so when I go to create something else, it needs to be part of that, my signature. It needs to look like it has my signature attached to it. And you will see if you're on my socials or if you're on my list, I sent out an invitation today for a signature soiree where I'm going to host a 2-hour workshop for a small amount of people where I help them to develop their signature offer and their signature sales system, essentially. And that is going to be a complimentary workshop, but you need to apply to get a seat at the table because it's for a specific type of person, and I want to make sure we're on the same page. If I'm going to be opening up my brain and my experience and my wisdom and doing it for free, then I want to make sure I have got the right people in the room. So if you have a look at the show notes, you'll see there's a link there for the soiree. If you are on my website, you'll see it there. You can also get in touch with me and I can drop you the link, but it's michellehext.com/soiree. All right, so everything has a signature, and that leads me into the next big shift, which was brand alignment. I have on my desktop right now a whole bunch of imagery from when I launched my first high ticket mastermind, in the female entrepreneur space. And I'm looking at my brand, and as that's evolved over the years and how my branding has evolved, and it's like, wow, I really loved that back then. And it definitely got attention and it served its purpose, and it was felt very fancy back in the day. But I look at the brand that I have now and I am in love. And I have people say to me often these days, your brand is so strong right now. It's like, I know, I feel it. And so this brand alignment has made adding my signature to things a lot simpler. It's very easy to recognize my stuff, for want of a better word. Stuff just doesn't seem like the right word, but that's the one I'm rolling with right now. And so that signature everything and brand alignment are two things that kind of go hand in hand, because I think when you look at my stuff these days, you'll see and you'll recognize that it's mine because it has a certain look. I'm using certain images and things like that. So my brand, I used to want to go rogue with my brand because I got bored with the colors, I got bored with whatever, or I would see something and I'd get FOMO and I'd want to add green. And it's like, that is not my brand. I love green, but that is not my brand. And so just being really disciplined about brand alignment and making sure that everything is in absolute alignment with that brand. And it just has brought such an elevation to my brand, and everything feels clean, everything feels orderly, everything feels like it fits and is in the right place. And that's really important to me as well. Okay, I have just realized that my microphone has defaulted to the internal microphone. So I am hoping that the quality of this is okay. Just know that next week I'll make sure. It never does that. Not sure why it's done it, but here we are. So if the quality isn't as great, I'm sorry. I'm not recording it again. Okay. Next, so that was number 1 is simplify my office suite. Number 2 was signature everything. Make everything part of my signature, build signature systems out of everything that I create. Brand alignment was the third thing. The fourth thing is less but better, and it's more about making sure that there is less access to me. And if there is access to me, then people have to work for it a little bit. It is going to be intimate. And I just feel like giving away what I know too often, it just dilutes everything, right? And it used to be just give away everything, just, always give away things for free, blah, 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 blah. I'm just not into that anymore. So there's less access unless somebody's a client, right? Or it's an intimate gathering that I have created. And the soiree is exactly that. So it is that 2-hour workshop. We're going to do some great work in there. There's going to be a workbook. There's going to be a whole workshop run. But if you want to come along, you have to apply to this free event. And that feels very aligned for me. And I know that I will end up with the right people in the room. And so less access to me is not saying that I'm showing up less. I am definitely showing up less than I ever have, but I feel like I'm still around, right? If you go to my Facebook profile, I'm still posting pretty much every day during the week. I've always got something to say. My stories are pretty busy on my Instagram. I'm on TikTok now, just having a go over there just for the sake of it. This podcast is always here. This is probably where you'll get the most though, right? And so less access to me because I have learned that my wealth is in my wisdom. And it's an asset. It's an asset that needs to be protected, and not everybody is allowed access. It is not a free for all to come into my brain and let me help you. It's not. And so I feel really good about that. And as an aside, this comes off the back of I was testing a few things, and I tested free strategy calls. And I think I might have even mentioned this last week. I do great work on my strategy calls when people pay for them. And I do great strategy calls when I give them away. But when I give away a strategy call, it just feels wrong to me because I feel like it just feels like I shouldn't be doing it. It just feels wrong. And so I did that, and I just feel like I'm still not over being mad at myself for actually doing it. It felt really good at the time. It felt like, yeah, it'd be nice to spend some time with some people that I haven't spoken to and help them with their strategy and things like that. But there were a lot of people that were, obviously the intention behind that is to show a lot of value, give great strategy, and then move people into my mastermind. And a couple of high ticket sales, like one-on-one sales, but nothing converted into my mastermind. And that's my number one priority. And so it's like, oh, I don't want to do that. And even I have a launch guide running at the moment, and there's a paid strategy call on that. And I'm even debating removing it off that and just making it like a 15 or 20-minute information call instead. So yeah, I really feel like access to me has got to be earned. I've been doing this for 30 years. I know people, I know strategy. I have, learned so much over the years, and I get amazing results from my clients. And the sign of a good coach is not to show you how to create a strategy and then their strategy, like the one that works for them, and then the client has a bit of a problem with it, and then the coach doesn't know what to do because it worked for them, right? The sign of a great coach is a coach that knows how to troubleshoot when something doesn't work and how to get their clients to be moving forward and figuring out the thing that is going to work for them and tweaking things and knowing when to change things, diagnosing the problem. A lot of people just don't have a freaking clue. There are a lot of coaches out there who are just, excuse me, fucking clueless. And they might have had 5 minutes of success for themselves, and then they go and build a lot of hype around it. They get a lot of sales, so they make a lot of money, and the results are very freaking limited. And that is not me. I am somebody who knows my shit. My brain is valuable. It's the greatest asset that I own. And so, yeah, less access. Not everybody gets access to this. My clients have access to this. My masterminders have access to this. And on occasion, I will provide opportunities for people within a group to have limited access to that as well. And that's what the soiree is about. So free content for sure, that's out there, but actually spending time with me. And it might sound like, I don't know, egotistical. It might sound a little bit arrogant or whatever, but I'll be honest, I don't care. Like, I know who I am. I know my value. I know the value that I provide for my clients, and I know my worth, and I'm not giving it away. It's just not happening. So yeah, if people want access to me, they have to earn it. And then I'm very happy to give it. Very, very, very happy to give it. Okay, and the final shift is dropping the idea of volume. So I did launch my very last membership program last year, I don't know, September, August, something like that. And it just didn't work. It's not meant to work for me. Volume is not meant to work for me. I don't want micro offers. I don't want digital courses. I don't want all of those things, because my driver is impact. And I have impact when I have my eyes on my client's business, when I'm in front of them, when we get to, have these conversations, like, impact is incredibly important to me. And I just don't think you can have that with cheap offers and low ticket offers and high volume offers. I just don't think you can. Well, not for the people that I want to work with anyway. And so I finally put to bed the idea of volume-based products, and I will never create another one. There, I said it. Never create another one. So that's it. So number 1, simplify my offer suite. Number 2, make everything a signature everything. 3, brand alignment. 4, less access. 5, drop the volume. So do any of those resonate with you? Let me know. Come over to my Instagram and let me know there. I want to know which one of those resonates with you. And if there are any big shifts that you feel like you made that are having a really profound impact on your business, or whether you know you need to make some shifts and you know that when you do, they will make a significant impact. Anyway, that's it for this week. I will see you next week. As I was reading all this stuff, I just have my dot points there, but as I was reading and as I was speaking, I think about 4 other podcasts popped into my brain as I went. So I'm going to go make some notes now, and I will see you next week. Have an amazing rest of your week, and I'll see you then.